Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with K Montes Art Studio, and today we have day 6 of the 12 days of Christmas, Vlogmas, whatever you want to call this, and our 4th little card. So as you just saw, that was day 5's card. Today's card is inspired by this cabin and the cabin that I stayed in for day 1. Check out that video. It was such a fun day and I really enjoyed that cabin. So after being inspired by the cabin that I went to, I took that inspiration plus the picture and kind of combined the two together, added a wreath to the side of the door and some decorations on the top, nice little trees off to the side. I've really been practicing my illustration style and I'm really glad that I gave myself this Christmas challenge to kind of explore and just sketch things out, have fun, doing some quick tiny sketches so that I can just get out of what I was in. I was in a really deep art block for several months and I'm so glad that I'm finally seeing the end of the road. For those that have experienced art block, you definitely understand what I'm talking about. So now it's time for the paint, and I decided to use the Holbein gouache for this little piece, and I love the way the Holbein gouache acts when it's really watered down and almost watercolor-like texture, but it's just so different than watercolor because it almost stands still in its position even though it stays wet. When you go back over, it does create sort of a tonal effect where you go over it again and it adds sort of an extra layer of darkness, so it does layer, whereas watercolor sort of, if it's wet, sometimes it easily blends in and you can't even tell that it's overlaid. But I did like the effect that this Holbein gouache was giving me. after getting my first layer of color down, I went in with my Tombow markers. My God, this combination is a match made in heaven. I feel like Tombows is that person that gets along with everyone and just does such a good job at kind of fitting in with everyone. And it doesn't matter if it's oil or water, they still get along with them. That's how I feel about Tombows. Oh my God, the way that they layer on several different types of medium, and sometimes you have to kind of depict which one you need to put in first, whether that's a Tombows, and then color pencils on top, or gouache and then Tombows on top. So always, do a little swatch and test out which one should go first. But this gave me such good detail. Obviously, I've been sticking to this limited palette, and it's kind of helping a little bit to create the pieces as a cohesive collection. So I did like that. And it also helped with fine detail. I love the way I drew the trees, and you'll see later that I add a little bit more oomph to them because they were kind of dainty and it was lacking a bit. So I did use my paintbrush to blend some of the color of the Tombow markers out. And that's the other thing that I really love about Tombows, is that you can treat it as if it were watercolor. And because the gouache is soluble, you can kind of go over that easily. So I did have to cheat and kind of explore a couple more blues because the limited color palette that I chose had a lack of blue variation. So I branched out and I captured a couple other blues so that we have some different variations for our snow. So I've been really practicing my illustration style, and I've been wanting to get good at illustration and create sort of cartoon style imagery, mainly because I want to explore a new style. So I've been a professional painter for a very long time, and I played around with all sorts of things. And this little challenge has given me the opportunity to really explore this craving that I have to kind of create illustrations. And what I see as illustrations are things like books, things that are kind of like more childlike, and all types of things can be illustration. But the style that I'm kind of going for are sort of in between the cartoon look and the realistic look marriage together. I don't really know where I'll land with my style just yet. I'm still practicing. I'll be making more videos on how I develop my illustration style. So that is probably what is going to come next in 2025. So far, so good. I've been having a lot of fun researching different styles, looking at different artists' websites. I've also updated my website to include illustration. If you're interested in seeing the transformation in my style, definitely head over to my website and look at the paintings and the illustrations. Right now, most of the illustrations that I have done are in the iPad, but I want to get more hands-on. I've always been a hands-on type of artist. I love the iPad, but I want to have more manual style paintings. So definitely check that out. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, so that was today's video. This little cottage, this little cabin in the mountains that reminds me of my stay in my cabin. Check out that video, and also don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.